Good afternoon. My name is Glenn Miller. I'm a parent, a TJ student, and my name is spelled Glenn, two N's, Miller. Yesterday was filed in the Circuit Court of Fairfax County on behalf of 17 families a complaint against Fairfax County School Board and Superintendent Scott Brabrand. The complaint arises out of actions taken by the school board on or about October 6 regarding the admission system of Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology, in which the Fairfax County School Board eliminated nationally normed standardized tests as a means of identifying incoming ninth graders for admissions to Thomas Jefferson, and proposed to replace the rigorous academic system with an as yet known admission system which could include a random lottery. The basis for the complaint against Fairfax County School Board and Scott Brabrand is relatively simple. That Virginia law, which is the superior law and controls the actions of Fairfax County and its school board, contains specific requirements that must be followed in order to admit students to TJ, and that Fairfax County and its school board violated those laws. As such, the Fairfax County School Board and the superintendent acted beyond their authority, they exceeded their authority, and they acted arbitrarily and capriciously. These arguments are fairly simple, and they're as follows. TJ is a governor's school, and a governor's school has specific rules that must be followed. Counties have to follow the rules in order for them to operate governor's schools. And governor's schools received extraordinary appropriations from the state, and associated with governor's schools and their operation are strict rules that have to be followed by counties in order to receive funds and receive designation as a governor's school. Under Virginia law, the school board must follow these rules in order to receive these appropriations. One of the requirements of the governor's schools that's set forth by Virginia law is that they be limited to gifted students that have received designation as academically talented and gifted. That is a prerequisite to be a governor's school. And the definition of gifted is very strictly defined and carefully defined under state law. It provides that if a student is designated as gifted and wishes to be designated as gifted and receives state funds that are designated and required to be funded for gifted, that there are requirements that they actually be recognized and chosen according to designated standards. And among the standards, if you are designated gifted in a specific academic area, including science and math, the requirement is that you shall be administered and determined by a nationally normed standardized test. That's what the law says. The law is quite clear. Fairfax County knows this because they have internal slide presentations that acknowledge that in order for you to be designated gifted in science and math, you have to be administered a standardized test. And that's important because for counties that have gifted students, they receive extra money. So they want to make sure that they follow the rules in terms of identifying who is really gifted and who isn't. And yet, on October 6th, notwithstanding these rules, which are clearly defined under state law, the county eliminated the requirement at TJ, which has been followed for decades, which is that they'd be administered a standardized test, and they basically eliminated the requirement that there be a standardized test. And the school board, one of the members of the school board acknowledged that when she did that, say, well, it doesn't matter because TJ is not supposed to be designated, is not supposed to be reserved for gifted students anyway. It's supposed to just be reserved for kids who are talented at STEM. And that reflects a misunderstanding of state law. And so the bottom line is that by doing this and by taking this action, the county school board exceeded their authority. Their authority as a county is subject to Virginia law as designated by state law regulations, the Department of Education. The county school board and the superintendent violated state law. They exceeded their authority. They acted arbitrarily, capriciously. They put TJ's status as a governor's school in jeopardy. They put potentially millions and millions of dollars of Commonwealth of Virginia funding and appropriations at stake. They've arguably misappropriated and misused funds that are designated for the education of gifted students in governor's schools, and as such, their actions are invalid. We filed a complaint. The 17 families are children who have been designated gifted and likely would have been have an excellent shot of being admitted to Thomas Jefferson under the existing system, and under the new system, it's substantially likely they will not be admitted. That's the basis for the complaint. It's straightforward, and we are confident in the ultimate resolution of this in favor of these 17 families at TJ. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Norma Margulies. Good afternoon. My name is Norma Margulies, and I am the mother of a freshman student in the TJ 20 class of 2024 and co-founder of Hispanics for STEM. My name is spelled as follows: Norma, N-O-R-M-A, Margulies, M-A-R-G-U-L-I-E-S. I support the courageous, determined, and hardworking 8th graders and 7th graders whose wonderful families have filed a lawsuit against the Fairfax County Public School Board and its superintendent for their arbitrary, capricious, and illegal decision to eliminate the TJ admission test. Let the plaintiff's actions be a lesson in courage for all of us. November 3rd, 2020 was a momentous day in which we Americans exercise our right to vote. Today, the plaintiffs are exercising their right to obtain justice. We live in a nation of laws, and the plaintiffs, who firmly believe in the American dream, will have their day in court. I trust that the law and justice will prevail and that the TJ test will be rightfully reinstated. Thank you.
My name is Suparna Datta, S-U-P-A-R-N-A, last name D-U-T-T-A. I have a son who is a student at Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology, who got into the school because he is academically gifted. And he demonstrated his math and science abilities via a race-blind, merit-based screening process, which included a group-administered aptitude test. I'm here to express my support for the plaintiffs and their children. I'm positive that this case will prove that the school board's decision in scrapping the standardized test was arbitrary and unlawful. The lottery-based proposal by Fairfax Superintendent Scott Brabrand to replace the test does not give a fair chance to students to prove their STEM aptitude and instead relies on luck to get in. It also limits admissions based on where a student lives. This will deprive truly gifted children from getting into one of the best high schools in the nation.
Hi, my name is Yuyan Zhou. It spells Y-U-Y-A-N, last name Z-H-O-U. I have 2 kids graduated from TJ already. With no more kids in the FCPS system, I can easily walk away. But I'm here. I'm here to support our plaintiffs, our lawyer, our court team members from Coalition for TJ, and our friends from medias from different channels who are here helping us spread words and bring attention to this important fight. This lawsuit could be a key landmark, as many high schools across the nation, just like TJ, who are facing the similar attacks. Under the name of equality, FCPS has used racial balance as their criteria to eliminate the current merit-based race-blind admission policy, but instead they went too far and has eliminated the entry exam, canceling the teacher's recommendation letter, and try to impose a lottery system for the future TJ admission. We can't let this happen. TJ, as the #1 high school in the nation, it is our pride. Its reputation was built on decades of hard work from our students and teachers, not lottery, not luck. As concerned citizens, we're here not just fighting for TJ, but for everyone across the nation who respect the value of hard work, who appreciate the equal opportunities presented to them, who rise above any challenges and obstacles along the way, and who cherish the awards that's presented to them with the spirit for pursuit for academic excellence. I know we're not alone. Millions are watching us. Please stand with us, and together we shall prevail. Thank you for your support.
Hello, my name is Hemang Nagar, Hemangnagar. I'm a parent of a 8th grader and who wishes to go to TJ. What has happened right now is by eliminating this test, Dr. Brabrand did not show any transparency on why he is doing it, what studies were conducted, what research was done to basically show that this will actually help Black and Latino students to get into the school. There is zero transparency in the whole process that was done. It seems that Dr. Brabrand has basically taken advantage of the current political climate and the pandemic to push through an unlawful measure that does not stand a chance in court to be passed. If we cannot stand for such a blatant misuse of power, and also what he has basically done is that he has misappropriated millions of dollars that actually will go into TJ. This basically disincentivizes any hard work, any dedication towards an academic excellence that hundreds and thousands of students pursue in the Fairfax County. They basically look forward to appearing in this test, passing this test. It's not about my child getting into a school or into the school or not. It's about everybody who strive for excellence, who strive for academics, and they need to get their fair shot at getting into the school. Right now, it does not. By doing this, the fair shot is completely gone. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is James Pan. Last name is spelled P as in Papa, A as in Alpha, N as in November. I've been a resident of Fairfax County since 1974. I have a son who's an 8th grader who's been identified as gifted. He was working for 2 years preparing to get into TJ, and they changed the process at the last minute. But I have to thank the school board because they have given my son a powerful lifelong lesson about the capriciousness of government power. With FCPS getting rid of an objective talented-based test, a merit-based test, as part of the process for admissions, they are in non-compliance of Virginia state statutes for governor schools. FPCS is using the pretext of banning the test in their goal of reducing Asians at TJ, a minority at TJ. The government is using a process that is plain old bigotry. They are changing the process to discriminate against Asians. This is very similar to the poll tax and literacy of the old Jim Crow South, and we must stand against this. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Im McCaskill. First name Y-I-N-G, last name McCaskill, M-C-C-A-S-K-I-L-L. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I was an English teacher in Shanghai, China before I moved to Fairfax County, Virginia in 2003. I have 3 children. My oldest daughter is a sophomore in Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology. My middle child is an 8th grader at Rachel Carson Middle School, Herndon, Virginia. My youngest daughter is a 6th grade in Navy Elementary School, Fairfax, Virginia. All of them were admitted to the advanced academic program in 3rd grade, and they all did very well. My middle child was a straight A student in 7th grade and so far in 8th grade. She and I are plaintiffs in this important case. I'm here today to oppose the change of the admission process that the school board is pushing. Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology is a governor's school for gifted students who need more rigorous courses to challenge them more. The merit lottery will not be able to find the qualified students for the special needs governor's school. The merit lottery will admit more students who are not prepared mentally or academically for TJ. The result is that those students will likely lose confidence, and the new system will set them up for misery. In the school board's proposal, the entire county is divided into 7 regions, and each region got the same seats. It seems fair to everyone, but to those in high achievement middle schools, it is like a slap on the face to the teachers, students, and the communities where those schools are. Northern Virginia is one of the most costly areas in the nation. Every year, people move here, and their main reason is for the education, for the schools. We always feel lucky that the nation's #1 high school is in our backyard, and we are willing to pay the high price for houses and living costs so that our kids can have a good education. If the merit lottery is put through, the quality of education will decrease because there will be no incentive for people to stay in this expensive area. People will move out, house prices will drop, the economy in this area will fail quickly. There will be no prosperous future for Fairfax County. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Hanning Chan. I'm a plaintiff in this case. My first name is spelled as Hanning, and my last name is spelled as Chen. My eldest daughter is a sophomore of TJ, and my second eldest daughter is an 8th grader at Cooper Middle School. Both of them are passionate about science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I'm strongly against the elimination of TJ admission test. The merit lottery proposed by Fairfax County Public Schools initially raised the admission chance for white students at the expense of all minority students, including Asian Americans, African Americans, and Hispanic Americans. Under the disguise of racial justice, FCPS deprives the education opportunities for gifted high school students who will become our nation's next generation scientists, technicians, engineers, and mathematicians. Moreover, the merit lottery will send the wrong message to all hardworking FCPS students, particularly minority students who cherish passion, discipline, and diligence for their academic excellence. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Srinivas Akilla, Srinivas, last name Akella, and I am a plaintiff in this case along with my son. I've traveled 37 states in this country before deciding to relocate to Fairfax County, Virginia, primarily because of the education opportunities that Fairfax County Public Schools provides to gifted children through the Advanced Academic Program and by the gifted Governor's School, Thomas Jefferson High School. My child is gifted, and he deserves the same opportunities that were available to all the previous graduates of TJ, based on the state regulations for gifted education. and having a nationally norm-referenced aptitude or achievement test is a mandatory measure of gifted identification procedure. These tests are used to identify truly gifted students across the nation, and in the state of Virginia, for years, they have consistently delivered in ensuring that the truly deserved students are enrolled at Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology. I am vested in the state of Virginia based on these state laws, and I don't want to be deprived of these by arbitrary decisions without authority, and it is an abuse of power and process. I reached out to the school board and FCPS with my concerns, but my pleas were ignored, and the school board and FCPS arbitrarily made changes to the admission process in violation of state law. I have faith in our judiciary, and I'm petitioning to them as the last avenue since there was no other recourse left for me to pursue, and I'm confident that we will prevail and these arbitrary decisions will be declared null and void. A gifted governor school should be led by administrators who understand the vision of STEM, and I request the school board to consider hiring a new superintendent when they discuss the contract tonight at the FCPS school board meeting, and I want them to hire someone who understands the needs of all their students, including highly gifted, hardworking merit students, and someone who does not make unverifiable claims that these students paid $14,000 to $15,000 for test prep and paid their way into the school. When I reached out to FCPS using a Freedom of Information request, FCPS could not provide any evidence to back the superintendent's claims. And this is troubling for a parent like me who believes in hard work and who has a child who has time and again proved his giftedness in many measures since his first grade and is selected in the advanced academics program through a series of tests like NNAT and COGAT, for which the FCPS school advanced academics resource teacher provided examples and practice. FCPS itself offers test prep for TJ admissions every year, and it is as common as coaching for sports teams and debate teams. It took years of hard work to establish the state regulations, and I believed these will help my child in the state of Virginia to get access to the best public school in the country, Thomas Jefferson High School. And I want this great state's court system to help me preserve these rights of gifted education for my child. Thank you.
So come back. Come on. So my name again is Asra Nomani. I'm one of the co-founders of Coalition for TJ, and I'm here today with my father, who is in his 80s, and he came to this country as a student from India. Like so many of our families and students, they have inherited the tradition of the American dream. My father came here for the American dream. My son pursued it here in this country and is now a student at Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology. And we should not allow anyone, including the Fairfax County School Board and the Fairfax County Superintendent, Scott Brabrand, to stand in the way of justice. We are all here for the justice that America provides, and I applaud all of these courageous families, and I hope everyone will support them. We are at coalitionfortj.net. Please support us. You can find our complaints against the school board and the superintendent there. Please support us because you believe in the values of hard work and the American dream. Thank you, Dad, for bringing me to this country so that my son could enjoy everything about this country. Thank you, everyone. We are TJ. Thank you.
One question for Glenn.
Yeah, we will take questions now from anyone. Thank you, Glenn.
So I assume that you guys have had some discussions with the school board. Have you set up? Have there been any meetings talking about this, or
About the litigation itself, or about the dispute? I mean, there have been a number of meetings. And initially, there were various meetings that were being held in secret with no community input whatsoever. These were being held by the Secretary of Education of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Atif Carney, they were being held in secret in violation of various open meeting laws, and through the efforts of some of the people in this group behind us and the Coalition for TJ, we were able to get those opened up to the public. There were some conversations between the county and some testimony made to the county. The county was made aware of the rules dealing with governor schools and the requirement. They chose to ignore them. And in fact, the Secretary of Education of the state of Virginia, in a speech, recently acknowledged that in order for governor schools' admissions process to be changed, that there needed to be a change in state law first to allow that to happen. And so the Secretary of Education is aware that this hasn't happened yet, hasn't done it yet. The county is aware of it, and they went ahead and did it anyway in violation of state law.
So you really have never been in the same room together?
No. I mean, we've had a series of Zoom sessions, but there are limitations on the ability of the board to meet other than in public sessions, and because of the COVID situation, the county has made various statements that the elimination of the TJ normed test was because of COVID, but that really strains credibility because they have held PSATs and are planning to hold SATs. So for some reason, the TJ admissions test was more vulnerable to COVID than any other admissions test. So,
is the actual process for applying, is that set in stone? Is it still being tweaked? And I guess is it fundamentally that any process that doesn't have a standardized test?
That's an excellent question. Right now, the county has not even figured out what they're doing. What they have done is eliminated the standardized test, or purported to eliminate the standardized test as step one, and step two is to figure out what is to replace it. The alternatives currently being discussed, to our knowledge, are one, a lottery where all the students are chosen by random chance. They're going to increase the GPA limitation and then just open it up for anybody who has Algebra 1 or better math, and it's a total random chance. Another proposal being considered is where a certain number of students are picked based on some sort of a holistic system where they look at their grades, and the rest are picked by lottery. And the third one is some sort of holistic approach where they look at the student takes a single essay test, and they look at their background, and some of the criteria being proposed for the holistic lottery are very ill-defined, such as global citizen, and we don't. None of those have really been made clear. One of the things that bothered us, in addition to the fact that they have eliminated the norm test in clear violation of state law and state regulations dealing with gifted students, is that they have eliminated teacher recommendations. And the rationale given by certain school board members and activists as to why teachers' recommendations should no longer be considered as that teachers are racially biased, which we disagree with. We believe that our teachers at Fairfax County are among the finest teachers in the United States, and that they are devoted to academic excellence, and that they do not discriminate against students on the basis of race. So we reject that out of hand, and believe that's a mischaracterization.
Any other questions? All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. We have copies of the complaint here along with the names of the plaintiffs. Okay, and then anyone who... Yeah.
Should I end the lecture? Should I end the lecture?
Yes. Thank you, everyone who joined us today. We really appreciate all of your support, and we cannot even thank you enough because this started off just a few families prayed on the
She's going to do it for me.
Okay, so tell me the story again. What we have behind us are families, representative sisters, biggest families everywhere. So we are with you, and thank you for being with us. Do it again. Thank you, thank you. We love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, no, I'm just,
Ha sido la junta escolar ha sido demandada por el hecho de que los padres jóvenes iban a postular. Se han venido parando ese tiempo que no van a poder en vista de esta decisión arbitraria que viene siendo cuestionada. Entonces he venido a apoyarlos. Se hacen días que las elecciones en Estados Unidos es importante para ejercer nuestro derecho de votar. Esta vez en esta oportunidad los demandantes están ejerciendo su derecho a obtener justicia. Gracias.
thank you very much.
This is going to be handled in the next 20 days.
So there are a lot of things, right? You need to my son has to
I expect it to be tell the county.
get it on my back. Okay.
Do you have any Instagram? Do you have any Instagram?
Right? And if you don't have that, what's going to happen is teachers are going to get disappointed because these are highly paid teachers. They get paid more than the school because in this area, paid gave donations that they can afford more money for the these are all the graduates and their parents.
You got to tap on the.
So they're going to be because if they have to.
You know more than me.
Hey, okay, so I just finished.
Oh my gosh, they're gorgeous.
Yeah, we fit in you can let the
Okay, so do you want me to put you, I can just say, comparing to the 7th grader, I can say.
Just so it's clear, I'm actually not the lawyer. I'm not the lawyer.
What was your yesterday?
Okay. Oh, great. Glenn Miller.
Oh, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
You're spamming like, I'm now.
Okay.
No, I appreciate you talking. I guess that's it. And if I remember, you have an age, you have an age grader, is your oldest?
As it did getting their money out of them.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, no, definitely.
Yeah, well, after that, I gotta get some insights around it. Do something else.
I can understand it.
And normally, if this, if I don't look for it, but if it's something that's happening that I heard her say, this is pretty fucking hokey and it's not too much, and I said, okay, I'll get that because I know that
They will understand.
they go
Yeah.
so you know.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, my name's Channel 5.
Thank you.
Box 5, yeah. Nelson Jones, Channel 3.
Okay, great. I'll just write.